1967. 7 years after Nigeria gains its independence from Britain, the young nation finds itself in a state of crisis. Igbo people living in northern Nigeria are massacred and their property destroyed. Those who survived fled to their hometowns in Nigeria's eastern region. When negotiations between the East and Nigeria's military government fail, the eastern region declares its independence and the nation of Biafra is born. A war breaks out, lasting almost 3 years, during which time millions of Biafrans die as a result of military attack, starvation, and disease.
I've been interested in how to bring this conversation into a broader public sphere, because one of the things that's striking about the Nigeria-Biafra War is that whilst it's probably the most tumultuous and sort of path-changing period of Nigeria's history, within the context of the nation, there hasn't been public conversations about the war. And so my interest was, how do I help to facilitate this public conversation? Now, my research is in literary studies, and so primarily my approach has been thinking about the literature of the war and literature as a site of memory. And my work is interested more in what Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie describes as emotional truth. So thinking through the human impact of the war, how did it affect individuals? How did it affect communities? And what are the legacies of the war? And so I collaborated with the Nigeria Art Society UK to stage the Legacies of Biafra exhibition. So we held a show at the Brunei Gallery at SOAS from January to March 2018. And one thing that struck me so much in both the exhibition, but just in the larger project I've been working on, which has included staging an international conference, also making a documentary film, is that how important these spaces are. As I said, there hasn't really been public space for this conversation. In the wake of the war, when Biafra fell, the focus was on rebuilding, the focus was on moving on. And so individuals and communities haven't really had the space to breathe, to commemorate, to reflect. Having this, exhibition, the focal point being the artwork, some parents were able to broach the subject. And I'm thinking about one family in which, looking at one of the pieces by Chike Azonye, Exodus, which depicts the sort of movement of people, the refugees who were, people who'd lost their homes and livelihoods and were now trekking by foot to try and find, shelter, find somewhere to stay. And I should say that was Chike's own story as one of the artists who actually experienced the war firsthand. But having that space to talk through their own experiences about displacement, about loss, the trauma, but actually being able to refer to the painting and not have the spotlight on them, so to speak, was a way of broaching the conversation. So the next installation of the exhibition, Legacies of Biafra, will be at Gallery Oldham, but it's due to run from October 2021 to February 2022. And in my own research, it's really been a privilege and an honor to be able to have these conversations, to be able to hear from survivors and from those who were deeply affected by the war, and to be able to really have that space for a conversation. And that's been an important thing for me.